why am I jacking off my boyfriend while I'm talking
Wait, how
to my
old was the
hot ass
boyfriend?
science teacher?
How old was the boyfriend?
He was in 7th grade.
Oh, girl.
All right, guys, welcome to the first episode of Uncensored and Unemployed.
Yes,
We
hello.
are so excited to be here. If you have followed me for any amount of time, you know that I used to have a podcast. And so doing this project with Emily was something that I was so excited to jump into because I just have so much fun being in this environment and talking about life and everything that makes people uncomfortable.
Yes.
And that's kind of where the name of our podcast came from. Uncensored and Unemployed. We're very much straight to the point. We wanted to start off with this intro and let you guys know that we're totally uncensored. It's very much not safe for work,
Yes.
18 and older. So if you are not into this type of content, now would be a great time to head somewhere else. But if you are, we would love if you would stay with us and follow along this journey. We wanted to start this first episode by kind of introducing ourselves to you guys, maybe telling you things that you may not know about us. So if you don't know, I'm the Fit Mommy.
I'm Emily.
And I grew up here in Austin, Texas. I was born and raised here. I love this city. And I believe you were born here as well.
Well, I was born in Fort Worth,
Okay.
actually. And then I moved here when I was like 3 months old, maybe.
Okay, so
So I'm from Austin.
Yeah.
But I want to throw in there that I was born in Fort Worth.
Yeah, Texas done the least.
Yes.
So a lot of people wonder, what is it that we did for a career prior to OnlyFans? For myself, I was in the Army for about 4.5 years.
Yeah.
I did some time in South Korea, and then I finished up and medically retired out of Fort Benning, Georgia. What is something that you did prior to OnlyFans?
I was a hostess at Hooters for 2
Okay.
weeks, and the girls were really fucking mean. So I quit, and I went to the strip club that was by my old club volleyball place, and I applied to be a waitress and got the job on the spot,
Okay.
and started waitressing, and then started dancing, and
I love
then
that.
OnlyFans.
I love that. I also did some time working at Twin Peaks, actually here in Austin, and I hated it for me.
Yeah.
You know, they also hired me on the spot.
Yep.
And it's just very much a toxic work environment and I was very miserable in that
Yeah.
setting. I did do some time in the strip club.
Yep.
Did very well there, but with, you know, dealing with anxiety
Yeah.
and mental health issues that I deal with from time to time, the strip club just was not something that I could see myself doing long term.
No.
And I feel like that's not talked about enough,
No.
but that's
it's
for
very
another.
much glorified
Yeah,
on like TikTok a lot.
absolutely.
And it's just not it most of the time. It's just not the case. It's not always that great.
Right. Yeah, it totally depends on like where you're located, you know, who you know.
And
There's
I feel
so
like
many
I have so
factors.
many horror stories, but that'll just have to be a whole nother episode
Right.
because it's so many.
A little more about me. I do have a daughter. She's 4 years old. And I just adopted a puppy
Oh my
from
gosh,
Austin Pets
yes.
Alive. I named her 11 after Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I love that series. And she's super sweet. So I'm kind of getting used to like being a dog mom. I've never really been a dog mom before. It's a
That's
lot
tough.
different than having a child. I will say it's harder in a lot
Yeah.
of ways, which I never thought I would say that.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, when I would see those bitches post like, Happy National Dog Day or National Son or
Me?
Daughter Day and post their fucking dog, I would be like, you don't even know what it's like
Right.
to have a child. Okay, now that I have a dog, I'm like, this is almost harder than
Yeah.
having a child.
No,
You
they're
know?
bad.
But I'm enjoying that. And then you also have pets.
I have 2 dogs. One's name is Thor, and I've had him. He's been with me through it all of it.
I love that.
And Gucci, I got him when I was in college, and I did not know he was going to be 110 pounds when I got him.
Oh my God.
But I loved Gucci Mane, so I named him Gucci, and Yeah.
I love that.
Those are my babies, and they're bad sometimes.
And, you know, I know a lot of people who really, really depend on their pets for comfort.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, they're really a companion. And I think that
100%.
if you feel it anywhere in your heart to adopt a pet or anything, I think that, you know, she's definitely helped my anxiety just within the last week or so.
It's weird.
It is
but
weird.
I get it.
Because it's like, oh, I have to get up and feed the dog. But as soon as I see her little sweet face, I'm like, oh, I get to feed this dog.
I know, and
like,
take her outside.
She was starving before I picked her up, you know?
That makes me so sad.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So, guys, it's crazy because, you know, Emily and I have only known each other for 2 months.
Yeah.
And if you would have asked me, like, prior to this, if I would go into a business endeavor with someone I knew for 2 months, I would have looked at you like you were crazy.
Yeah.
We met because someone on Instagram had tagged Emily in a post and saying they wanted us to collab for OnlyFans. That's how we met. Mm-hmm. And it was very casual. I don't know if I DM'd you or you DM'd me.
I think we would just swipe up on each other's stuff, and then we were like, let's collab.
Yeah. So it was very casual. We met up one day, decided to go to San Antonio to create some content. And then we ended up like putting a butt plug in this guy's ass together.
I don't know how
which was like fun, but like it's like we already knew each other.
It was very comforting.
Like she got in my car and it felt like I'd known her for forever. And then we found out that we had all these similarities.
Yeah.
Like we were both Sagittarius.
I can't think
we
of
were
it on
both
the
from
spot.
Texas. We both do OnlyFans. We had all these similarities.
Yeah.
And it was funny because she would do certain things and I'd be like, oh, I do that. And I would say certain things and she would be like, I say that. And it was just like, we've really been friends, maybe in a past life. I don't know.
I know. And then like to think we've already been on like 3 trips together.
Yeah, we travel all the time.
That's just crazy.
And what's really crazy about the whole thing is we both have very crippling anxiety.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
It's not like a personality trait for us to naturally cling to somebody.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But that's what happened with us. Like, it was not forced. And I love that there's no jealousy in our friendship.
Oh, God.
It's so like, I've never had a friend that will be like, that will speak highly of me in a room that I'm not in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and you know, we send each other links like, hey, I think this would help you in your OnlyFans. Like, you should start doing this. You know, and it's like, it's very mutually beneficial. And I think that's what I love the most about our friendship is it's so valuable to me.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. We've had so many good adventures so far.
Yeah. And I cannot wait for more.
And so many good ones coming up too.
Yeah. October is probably going to be the craziest month of the year, of the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We have so much planned as far as like content, parties.
Yeah, Halloween parties.
Yeah. We're constantly kind of brainstorming on what we can do next, how we can get better.
Yeah. OnlyFans content.
Yeah, and I really want to encourage you guys that are listening, you know, to always have that mindset. Like, it can be really hard to come out of that dark place that you may find yourself in. Because I know I've been there before where I don't want to do anything. I don't want to make content. I don't want to fuck anybody on camera.
No.
I'm bored. Like, I'm tired.
I don't want to message these men.
I'm not trying to masturbate 24/7.
I'm not really that horny.
No, but it's like, whatever you do for work, you might be a fucking trash man. You know, you might be a fucking janitor, whatever the fuck you do for a living. Do it with pride and passion, and when you have a positive mindset, I know that's so fucking cliche, but when you have a positive outlook, so many things can change. And I know it's hard, like, when you're in a depressed moment in your life, to listen to somebody and be like, oh, just change your mindset.
Yeah.
Because you're like, fuck you, bitch. I don't even want to think about my mindset.
Right.
You know, my life
I just want to,
sucks.
No.
But I promise you, like, if you can find the courage to pull yourself out of that, you really can do anything. And I think we've both been there, you know?
And I feel like we help each other, like, come out of those little, like, clouds of, like, depression.
Yes. And that's what friends should do.
Yeah.
And when you find... So, since I've been doing OnlyFans, and this does kind of fall into the intro here, I've met a lot of girls that also do OnlyFans. And I'm not, you know... I'm not calling anybody out, but there are a lot of women in this industry that want to see you do well, but never better than them.
100%.
And so they'll keep information from you, you know, they'll leave you out of things. And it's just like, wow, I finally found a pure person with
a
pure
real ass bitch.
intentions.
That's what I feel like it is.
Yeah.
Like two real ass bitches just finally met.
Exactly.
And everything's right in the universe.
Absolutely.
Kind of.
The stars are aligning.
I love that.
So we talked about kind of what we did prior to OnlyFans, kind of how we're starting up this podcast, the ideas behind it. I also want to touch base a little bit on our childhood because I feel like that kind of plays into who we are today.
That's true.
I was adopted when I was 2. Basically, my birth mom dropped me off and never came back, to sum that up. I feel like for a lot of my life, I kind of was trying to put the pieces together as to why something like that happened to me. Mm-hmm. And this kind of goes back into mindset. Like, now I don't think about why it happened or how it happened. I just accept the fact that it happened and what can I do to progress every day and move forward from that experience. And that's kind of what I meant by changing your mindset really can change your life.
True.
So what was your childhood like?
I grew up with my parents together, and they actually had me at 17, so we kind of all grew up together. But they got divorced when I was in 2nd grade, and then it was pretty good until I hit middle school, and then I was bad as fuck. I was grounded all the time. I'll never forget one time my mom took my phone and read these text messages and found out the night before I had gone to this boy's house and he fingered me and popped my cherry on his stepbrother's bed.
Okay.
And I stained his sheets. And she found that out.
I love that for you.
I don't.
Oh,
I was
fuck.
grounded for at least 8 months. Like, I'm not kidding.
Bro, I stayed grounded.
I didn't have a phone.
Okay, first of all, I didn't have a phone until I was 18.
Oh.
I was that bitch that was like, hey, can I borrow your phone to call my mom so she can pick me up?
Why?
Because, well, really, I don't know. It was a fucked up situation. But I would get grounded for staying after school and going to the school events. Like if there was a football game, basketball game.
Oh, no.
My mom was not having it. She did not want me at any of those events. But bitch, I stayed. You better bet your ass I missed the bus.
Oh, my
I was like,
God.
Mom, I'm trying to go to the game. My freaking boyfriend's playing.
Uh-huh.
One time I literally... Okay, this is kind of crazy, but I'm uncensored, bitch. So we were all, you know when there's a pep rally and all the students go into the gymnasium.
I used to get such bad anxiety during them.
Well, okay, I was class clown for 2 years in a row. I don't know how, but that's beside the point. So me and my boyfriend, we're trying to like sneak in together so we can sit next to each other during the pep rally. Mm-hmm. I'm in 7th grade, okay? So our teacher is at the bottom bleacher. Uh-huh. We're sitting on like the second to the bottom bleacher. Me and my boyfriend. There's a couple students in front of us. And then our teacher is kind of right there on the bottom bleacher. And he's talking to us. Why am I jacking off my boyfriend while I'm talking to my hot ass science teacher?
How old was the boyfriend?
He was in 7th grade.
Oh, girl.
Like, why was I just in middle school jacking people off?
I mean... I love that.
I hate that. I can't even believe
I don't mind that.
I mean, whatever. But it's like, it's just so crazy to me because I look at 7th graders now and I'm like, they better not be doing that shit.
No, 100%. I have little cousins that are like in 7th grade.
And I'm like, I was bad.
Yeah. I mean, me too.
Ugh.
Yeah, one time, and this actually reminds me of something, I was at my friend's house, and she was having a party, and it was in high school, and I was high as fuck, like, had my bubbler in my hand, my weed in my lap, like, just high as fuck, and my mom comes in her pajamas, and, like, she just got out of the bath, and she throws my bubbler across the room, is like, get the fuck up, we're going, because she told me I couldn't go, and I was like, bitch, I'm going.
Oh, period.
And, yeah, so I was grounded again, but...
Yeah, I come
from
a poor
mom. I'm sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Well, no, I'm not sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, but I turned out fine.
I'm sorry to your mom, not mine. But I come from a very strict household. Very much like... So my parents were very strict on me in particular. Mm-hmm. But I was like, there were a lot of things that happened in my home that my parents didn't know about. I think for every like
100%,
sibling group, that's a thing. And you know, I was exposed to a lot of things at a young age. And it's like, you know, when things like that take place, it can almost seem more normal. Like, okay, it sounds weird that a 7th grader is jacking people off in the gymnasium, but when you find out that that same 7th grader was exposed to porn when she was 9 years old, okay, it makes a little bit more sense. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, it kind of goes into like, you can't judge a book by its cover. Like, you never know what somebody's been through. You never know what somebody's experienced. And I really wish people would take that saying more seriously. Yeah. You know, like,
people are just fucked up.
Yeah. And that's literally for episode 2.
Yeah. That's a whole nother story.
But we really just wanted to take this time to like, let you guys in on things that you may not know about us. And that's why we kind of wrote down a few facts. And it's just scratching the surface, you know, like we're just getting started. There's so many more things that y'all are going to find out about us. There's so many more things we're going to find out about us.
Yeah, that's so true.
And we kind of just are hitting the ground running with this podcast. It's crazy because Emily, you know, put the idea in my head after I thought it was like a dead dream because, you know, the podcast I had before this, it didn't work out. And I kind of accepted that, like, okay, maybe that's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And then Emily was just like, you know, I've always wanted to start a podcast. And I think I looked at you and my eyes got really wide and I was like, dude, let's do it.
I think it's so fun.
And
I've always wanted to.
We really just, it's not like it was even hard because we kind of came up with a name. We knew what we wanted. We were like, okay, we're going to set up our cover shoot.
Yep.
We're going to go by the studio, you know, and we were really like adamant about what we wanted. And I think that that's the way we have to be with everything.
Yeah. And it's funny because the unemployed part came from when OnlyFans announced that they were going to ban sexually explicit content.
Yeah, we thought we were fired.
Yeah, we were like, we were in Vegas. We were like, we're fired. We're depressed. Like, we're unemployed. And we were like, uncensored, unemployed.
We're literally in Vegas making the craziest content we've ever made.
Yes.
We're so excited to upload it for our fans. And then boom.
Nope.
We're banning explicit content.
Why?
I literally, I was let go.
We were fired.
And we looked at each other and we were like, we're unemployed.
Yeah.
And then we just, you know, we just got to a point where we kind of accepted that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I admire so much about us is that, like, we didn't let that, like, ruin what we had going either. No. So we were just very excited to, like, create more content, do what we could with what we had. And that's important.
And, like, another door will always open.
Yeah.
A bigger door.
Yeah, and I'm not super like, I know that manifestation is a real thing, but if you don't have action behind it, then you're just a fucking idiot.
No.
You know, you can't sit in your room and be like, I'm manifesting a bad fucking bitch to come sit on my face.
Yeah.
Like, no, you have to go and
find
fucking,
her.
You know what I'm saying? And that might not be the best metaphor, but bitch, that's all I could think of right now.
The best example. That was good to me. Oh my God.
But yeah, we're wrapping up episode 1.
Yeah, that was good.
And we just thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes.
There's so much more exciting things to come. And we will see you on episode 2.
Yes, bye.
Next time on Uncensored and Unemployed.
What's the biggest dick you've ever had? Or taken?
Wow. Okay, so when I'm like in the moment, I don't like pull out a measuring tape.